Good afternoon. I'm sorry we can't find Billy. I didn't put him in a closet anywhere, I promise. Give myself a little bit more time. If you had told me in 1998, when I was living in a van and traveling through San Francisco, that about 20 years later, I would end up on a stage at the Tech Inclusion Conference to be talking about how nonprofits are using technology on the front lines of building inclusive communities, I definitely would not have believed you at all. But it turns out that in 98, when I broke down over in Noe Valley, I decided to stay in San Francisco for two reasons. One, I couldn't afford to fix my damn van. True. Two, there was a huge technology boom happening in a city, and in a city that was more diverse, with more socially aware and conscious people than I'd ever seen before. And I wanted to be a part of it. And I've been really lucky to spend the last 20 years at nonprofits like Kickstart International, joining Salesforce Foundation as the first employee focused on how nonprofits could better use Salesforce's technology, jumping over to change.org to work for an online empowerment platform, and most recently at Twilio, which is my most exciting place yet. So at Twilio, I get to meet organizations and work with organizations every day that are using communications to solve some of the biggest challenges. And those challenges oftentimes are grounded and rooted in inclusion. And I'm going to give you a couple of stories, hopefully to inspire you on how some of these organizations are using technology to build more inclusive societies. And then I'll leave you with a couple of tips and things that I've learned along the way. So first example I want to talk about is over in Cambodia. Talk about inclusion. Cambodia had a challenge in 2000, only 21% of kids being born in Cambodia were getting a birth certificate. If you don't have a birth certificate, you are excluded from society. You aren't going to be able to get into education, you aren't going to be able to receive government programs, you aren't going to have health access. Your likelihood to be trafficked or exploited is 5 times more than somebody with a certificate. Think about it, you're not even a citizen of anywhere. And so UNICEF worked with Cambodia to come up with a system. Why aren't these people getting their birth certificates? And one of the root problems was there weren't enough forms. There weren't enough physical forms in the offices that were providing the birth certificates. So they used technology. They built an outbound IVR. That's a phone call that can go to a local office where the person can receive the call, say how many forms they have in inventory and how many more they need, and have those forms delivered to that office. And that has had tremendous impact just in getting people registered, just in getting registered to be counted. Another example, over in the UK, fuelservice.org is this amazing organization that I love, and they focus on how do you help drivers with disabilities refuel their cars. So the problems the drivers with disabilities were running into is they're out on their day, they need to refuel, but they need to go to a station where there's an attendant available who can help them refuel their car. It's difficult to find a station that has attendants available, and when they do, oftentimes you're in this pretty embarrassing situation where you need to pull up, honk your horn, and holler to have the attendants come out and help you refuel your car. So with fuel service, they came up with this very simple idea of having an app where you could find a fuel service station and communicate with that fuel service station, letting them know that you're on your way to get the gasoline. A really important point on this is they didn't just build an app, they also made the service available via voice and SMS, because not everybody has a smartphone. I'm going to repeat this meme. Last story I want to share is Sella. This is an organization I love working with. They focus on adult literacy programs. They focus on folks who oftentimes are excluded from society, excluded from economic opportunity because of their literacy level. So they built highly customized curriculum that can be delivered in these 3-minute segments, and it comes in via voice call, where the call comes in with a 3-minute lesson, and then they receive a text message where they can interact and show what they've learned or not learned. And based on their cognitive awareness of what's happening, then they get put to the next lesson specifically for them. Again, this is done by voice and SMS. because not everybody has a smartphone. And the other thing I love about this is it's 3-minute lessons. So literally, most people who are using Sella are on the bus from their second job to their third job, and they're taking these lessons, and these lessons are going to help them be able to do things like fill out a loan application or a job application for a higher paid job. The reason I keep saying it's not just about the smartphone is because I see time and time again organizations coming up with a great idea on providing a technology to solve a really big problem, and they're starting off with an iPhone app. 1 in 4 Americans still doesn't have internet access in their home. Let's be inclusive of those people when we think about the technologies we're building to solve problems. So I'll leave you with a couple of thoughts on lessons that I've learned or picked up over the past couple of years working at the intersection of nonprofits and technology. Anybody here work with a nonprofit or work for a nonprofit? Oh, sweet. So one, that point about making your technology accessible, I think that's really critically important. But the other point I'd like to say is just because we're working at a nonprofit, that doesn't give us a free pass on everything else. That doesn't give us a free pass on diversity and inclusion especially. I'd like to see more nonprofits having more explicit, stated inclusion and diversity strategies. You may be doing good work in your mission, but you need to treat that with your employees, your board, your volunteers as well. For businesses, anybody here is working in a business that maybe has technology. Make your technology accessible to nonprofit organizations. Nonprofits can do phenomenal things with your technologies, and by creating simple programs where you can get nonprofits access to your technology at discounted and donated rates, that can have an outsized impact in what change can be created in the world. And for each one of us, whether you're in a nonprofit, a business, or just currently on a vacation, as you go and make your next donation, the next time you go and volunteer, please bring everything that you're learning in this conference to that organization. A lot of organizations are so busy on their mission, they aren't thinking about D&I. You likely know more from this conference than a lot of the organizations where you donate and volunteer. So I hope you all take the lessons that you've learned here and share them with the organizations that you're passionate about. Thank you very much. That's me. Hit me up on Twitter, email, and I would love to talk to anybody about nonprofits or businesses doing more for social good.